Viva, oh baby, Viva. Baby, you too sweet, Fajaba. Oh baby, dance you do the labada. Oh,
You can't always be in control of what happens on the road, but you can control the tires you ride on. Thanks to Champon Tires, in testing condition, you are guaranteed of traction and grip, be it new or partly worn tire. Champon Tires are the largest import and exporters of tires in the UK. Locate us all over the UK. For Wakefield, contact us on 01924 262 043. Selby, Rotherham, Hull, and Birmingham, contact us on 01709 380-615, or you can visit us at www.champontires.co.uk. Champon Tires, safe when new, safe when packaged. If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust. Do you feel left out in your education or career but still want to do something about it? Then don't fret. If you are a resident in the UK, British or EU citizen, then there is hope for you. You are in the age bracket of 21 to 55. The UK government is offering grants, scholarships, and financial support for first degree to masters in various courses. The government will pay all your fees and you can educate yourself in a peace of mind. From £21,000 per year for first degree, etc. Get in touch with GEM Educational Consultancy and we will guide you in applying for this facility. We are situated at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch. The postcode is RM124AE. Telephone 079 0479 3019 or email us pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Get financial support and acquire a degree.
This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
Welcome.
so love is a beautiful thing. Can you the cool my temper? Love is a wonderful tender feeling. You they give me ginger. So baby dance it, dance it, dance. Everything in your eyes they give me life. Oh, I could give the love the thanks. So what you say, for the sake of love. Oh, baby, leave it up, and I give it up, baba. Oh, but you say I go kill you. Show you love that you never seen before. But like you give me love, oh. Now you the playboy, oh. Now you the catch my shot, oh. For your sake, I go touch you. Yeah. We go drive around it for my Porsche. Baby, you say you like you all, I get you all, baby. Anyway that you go, I can follow you to go. Baby, you say you like cassava, I got to be cassava, baby. I love for you, never die. Every day she telling me she want more. Say she love my body, so she telling me say that she want more. Yeah. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every day she telling me she want more. Say she love my body, so she telling me say that she want more. Yeah. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Yeah. Girl, I know you say you like my Django. Oh, when you wanna leave, I no go and go. Everywhere you wanna go, I wanna go. I wanna follow. Girl, I wanna sample the bango. Say in the summer we go drive in my Lambo. Plenty money there in my banco. Now touch and follow. She say, Wizzy boy, I like to dance. Touch me, boy, I like romance. Give me everything, I like your bounce, yo. She say, oh me boy, I like your bounce. She say, Wizzy boy, we were meant to be, yo. Come through, boy, I like your sound. I'm a bad boy, no like romance, yo. I wanna go straight and feel the sound. Like a mercy. Every day she telling me she want more. Say she love my body, so she telling me say that she want more. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever, say she wanna love again, I go let her. Then I will who's a mini bema. Say she go follow me, yo. Come on, let it go.
My girl tempting to touch. My baby, no need to rush. I want to call you my love. So run, come jump on the dawn. My girl tempting to touch. My baby, no need to rush. I want to call you my love. So run, come jump.
Every day she telling me she want more. Say she love my body, so she telling me say that she want more. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body feels so right. Girl, you make me feel so nice. Girl, your body.
DJ Perez mixing it
She
up.
say I like the way you look at me, I'm screaming. Baby, I love the way you hold my hands, I'm tripping. Baby, the way you take me today, can't be like say I did mad. The way you carry me play, oh my God, it be like I did mad. Yeah, you burn me up, oh. Every day you are burning me up, oh. Yeah, you turn me up, oh. Anytime I look you turn me up, oh. Yeah, you taking me up, oh. The way you want, you taking me slow. Yeah, you killing me, oh. So the things that you do, you are turning me. She like the way me and I go faster. Anytime I call her, so she must answer. Oh my baby, what's up? Yeah. Oh my baby, what's up? Yeah. She like the way me and I go faster. Anytime I call her, so she must answer. Oh my baby, what's up? Yeah. So my girlie, what's up? Yeah. What go? Take it all, bend it down for me. Got me, I love the way you bend it down for me. Take it all, bend it down for me. Tell me I love the way you spread it down for me. Oh, you bend down, take it down for me. Telling me I like the way you take it down for me. Open up, take it down for me.
Yes, good evening and welcome again to another edition of Naija Voices, coming live straight to you, Radio UK, your station. Wow, it's been a very beautiful month of August, 29th of the way August travels in a no man thing. Once again, as usual, we say a kale to everyone from the southern part of the country, and we also say ututu oma to all our friends and family that are watching us from all over the world, and nothing less than baka the yama to everyone from the southern part of the country. Hey, welcome again. It's another and today we've got a very special guest in our minute. But before we do that, there's something that, for the last week or so, or almost 2 weeks now, we've just been continuously about the youth, and also, tonight, it's all about challenges of today's parenting. One and only person that will be able to tell us a little bit of what are a lot of challenges for the youth out there. Being a parent itself, what more can we do? But tonight, definitely it's behind the line will be open up. Once again, it's Star Radio UK, your finest Afro Caribbean radio station in London, where we bring you the best. We'll also tell you more of what is happening in Nigeria. We know Theresa May is in the country. What are they signing? What is it that they are signing? We would. Let us, put the camera right onto our guest there, and I'll let her introduce herself. Then I'll be able to tell you a little bit about who she is. Hello, good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK.
Thank you. Very good evening to you. And introduce myself. Simply put, I'm Kemi, the wife of Mr. Tomide Johnson.
Wow, thank you very much. For the benefit of those, that are seeing you for the first time, her name again is Kemi Tomide Johnson, also known as Kemi Climax. She had a Climax Relationship Support Network, not-for-profit marriage or relation building network set up to help couples and individuals in building strong, sustainable, and fulfilling relationships through practical relationship forums, one-on-one counseling, seminars, positive relation, enhancing social activities. She's also passionate, empathetic, and charismatic public and transformational speaker, trainee, writer, relationship analyst, consultant working towards the redemption of marriage and relationship, especially within the African community in the diaspora. She's also commissioned, especially in the area of troubled marriage and hurting people. She brings practical advice and healing through her powerful writing and counseling materials. Wow, she's also a Christian, currently based in UK with her husband, Mr. Akintomide Johnson, the father of 3 children. Wow. Good evening.
You make
okay. I've made something up there.
Honestly, okay. I'm sweating right now.
You're sweating.
I'm sweating, honestly.
Okay. You shouldn't be sweating.
Yeah, because
I think we've given you a cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly.
And we asked if you wanted water.
Oh.
You said no.
No.
You still have the option, and the AC is running.
You can see, because that just seems like, oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
It's amazing because I remember, before we got to know each other properly, I will read those powerful of your posts on Facebook, and sometimes I ask myself, where does she get all this from? How does it happen?
I don't know myself. That's a question I've not been able to answer.
Wow,
yeah.
amazing woman. You've done so much. There's one thing is, marriage is always, we will touch on that a little bit before we go into our today's topic. Marriage is one area that either break or go. What is your take on marriage itself?
Oh, marriage. It depends on the angle that we look at it, really, because everyone has different meaning for marriage these days, and the dictionary meaning is no longer sufficient. People are cohabiting, people have, distant relationship, several things that people call marriages these days. But if we have to really, really go into what I believe a marriage should be, or what our forefathers takes marriage to be, I'll say marriage is a vocation. It's a vocation because it's something that is like a fellowship, it's like a communion, something like you're doing out of intention. It's an intentional act to commit one's life, one's attitude, one's everything, one's satisfaction and everything into pleasing another, which is something that is very, very scarce and rare to see these days.
Wow. Wow, that is very, very interesting, and I'm sure, but we see a lot within that marriage that you've analyzed it like it's an easy one. In as much as, looking at it, there's a lot of people, sometimes, especially with the social media now, you see when the couples are going in, when they're about to do their marriage, and after a few months, after a few weeks, things start turning around. That is not the purpose of we being here tonight, because what we are here tonight to talk about again is the challenges of being a huge topic.
It is. It is.
Where should we start from?
I tell you, I must confess, I don't even know where to start from because they're huge. They're huge because it's like we're dealing. We want to talk about something that's we don't even know the depth of. The more we try to understand what it is to be a parent in this 21st century, the more challenging it is, because every day we keep evolving. What it were to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, is not the same. Technology and globalization have changed our world completely, and is no longer the same as we used to have it. It's no longer mom and dad has a child. It's no longer a child belongs to a village. It's no longer a child belongs to either 2 or 3 people. The moment you birth a child, you just realize that as soon as they start speaking and they can understand the world around them, things become increasingly complex than it used to be. It is no longer your voice that is training your child. It is no longer our attitude or our choices that is training our child. It's the world, the entire world actually. Because if you look at it, it used to be like mom and dad, the child only have contact with those immediate family, at least for the first 10 years of their life before they go into the secular world. But it's no longer like that. Right from the age 6 months, children already are in a position whereby they even see people remotely now, influencing their thought, their mind, their formation. So the research used to say that before age 7, it is whatever is embedded in a child that defines a child. And I tend to challenge that these days, because even by then, how do we define a child's value now? Every toy they have, every gadget they have, everything they do is connected to the internet. And when they are on the internet, they are connected to the world. So it's like a jigsaw. The loop is there. The information is filtering through here and there. And so we can no longer say because we have taken a child to a religious place, or because we don't eat pork in our house and we don't celebrate Christmas, that is that child is going to grow up to know, because there are so many informations that are coming in to make that child challenge what we believe to be a status quo. And that is why when we're talking about, what should we talk about today, I felt this is something on top of my heart. I'm a mother of 3 children. They are of different characters entirely. And I can tell you from the date I had one, she's going to be 13 soon. And now, the difference in parenting skills and things that we need to know, has changed tremendously. The things that we even from food. When you go to Asda's 10 years back, you can hardly find any African food there. But now you see it there. So even with the white children, with the black children, with the integration going on and everything, it is no longer sufficient to think that parenting is something that an adult can just say, this is what I know and this is what I'll do. It's an evolving process. And for every evolving process, we have to keep evolving. Otherwise, we will get laid back, and the children will get stolen from us, which is happening already. Wow. Right under our nose. Because a child could be sitting next to you on the sofa, and they could be in Canada. They could be in Australia. It used to be like we'd say, they are going out. I don't want them to mingle with the next door neighbor child. I don't want them to be with that kid. They're bad. No, their parents smoke. or the drink. But right under your nose, someone could be having sex with your child, and they are right there beside you on the sofa. Because in many homes now, everyone is connected to a gadget or something. You go into some homes, the child has, the daddy has, and everyone has, the TV is blasting on high volume, no communication whatsoever. So tell me, what are we actually parenting? Even though we are all under the same roof, the big question is, are we really relating? Are we really connected? Are we really in there parenting that child? And that is why I think it's such a very, very huge thing that even a lot of researchers are trying to understand what's come on today's family.
Wow. Well, if you've just joined us, this is going to be a very interesting one because, we've got this huge topic that we are looking into. Got one and only. Is it okay just to keep to, Kemi Climax? Because,
yes, please, just keep to Kemi Climax.
Like
a lot of people don't even know me as Kemi Day Johnson anyway.
I only say Kemi Climax, but the other name,
I just call me Kemi.
I'm sure my big
People had a climax.
Well, you will have to bear with us, tonight. We've not even started. Parenting, what does it mean? Who is a parent? Because it looks like in 2018, you move around, you sometimes see some individuals and ask, and you look at that individual and you ask, parent as well? But the moment there's a baby in the buggy, she's a parent. Or you sometimes move around, like you've just mentioned, on the bus, and there's this elderly woman there on a phone. There's a baby there, no contact. So who is a parent?
Simply put, a parent is any significant adult that has taken the emotional, spiritual, psychological, and presence with empathy place in the life of a child. So it's not just about giving a child what they want. It's not just about being there or betting a child. It is not just being, passing on genes or being having a biological connection with someone. It's being present with that child and connecting with them and their need, being able to actually communicate with their needs and then being able to reciprocate that communication process up to a point that you can impact in them some values, some that will help them to form an identity that will either break or make them. So technically what we're saying here is, as a parent, some people will be like they are impacting the right sense of value. They have parenting as well. And there will be the people that will be able to impact the right sense of values. But our definition of right or wrong could be a bit debatable. So I will always say a parent is anyone who has the ability to impact something into another being. So it doesn't matter whether you are biological or you are, as long as you are a significant adult and you are responsible for that child, you are parenting that child.
Wow. Once again, this is Niger Voices. We tend to look for individuals and we bring you to you every Wednesday. 3 weeks ago precisely, we had an MBE, 29 years worked with the Home Office, 4 years with the Inland Revenue. Tonight, we've got another beautiful, guest in the house, and we're going to be looking at the challenges of a parent in 2018. A lot of parents, are also facing challenges. What are the challenges facing today's parent? Because in as much as people say, well, you're in Europe, everyone is looking for pounds. It looks like that word, pounds, pound sterling. I don't know. I'm not sure. But,
yeah, we can't cut that. We can't cut that out because if I was like my husband liked this song from Davido that day. It stands for Shioma. So I think sometimes last week listening to it in the car, he was saying that when love is sweet, but when money enters into it, it becomes sweeter. And I have always been of the ideology that no matter how sweet love is, when there is no money, everything will become sour. However, the problem or the challenge that I think in that regards that many people fails to balance is what is sufficient. Yes.
Okay.
What is what is sufficient money? Because when we save money, money is infinite. Even the most richest people will still have something they are lacking. So it's all about being content. So I think when people just say, "Oh, we have to work, we have to support the family," majority of time you find that is they are doing that to even live out of what they can afford. I bet to disagree that poverty does affect parenting, because parenting, like I said, is all about value. It's all about passing on a substance that will form another identity. It is not about the gift you give to a child. You can send the child to a best school in the world. You can send them, give them whatever they want. And then they still come back unhappy in life. They can turn out to be, because if they don't have the actual thing that will help them to sustain whichever position they found themselves in future. Because let's face the reality. We've seen the brightest and the smartest kid going on in life unsuccessful. And we've seen the dumbest turning out to be successful. What differentiates the two is the value and the character they have been able to identify with growing up. Their attitude to work, their attitude to social life, their attitude to doing certain things. So when we talk about the challenges facing parents nowadays, we can categorize it into three. The number one thing is that many parents do not even merit being a parent in the first instance. Yes, they are physically ready. But what people don't ask themselves is, am I psychologically and mentally ready to produce another being? Can I be there for that child? Can I meet all the tick some certain boxes? Because after, like you said,
sorry to cut you in. That is difficult when the good is going between these two individuals. They don't think about all these.
It's a complex thing. Yeah. It's a complex thing, and if we have to go in that light of what you just said, I'll say even people, like I was saying on Facebook this morning, people get married for wrong reasons. People have sex for wrong reasons. We just do it out of our own selfish interest. People don't really consider the consequences. If you want to cross the road, you want to watch if car is coming. If you don't watch, you get hit by the car. Except you want to commit suicide, nobody in their right mind will just go and cross the road without a thorough thought. Many people don't put any thought into these things. People just assume, yes, I am ready. Okay, ask them to define readiness. They can't. Accidents do happen. I agree. I am not saying everyone can be a superhuman. But the thing is, when you make a mistake, making a mistake is not a problem, but making a correction to ensure that things fall in the direction that you want them to be. So going back to my line of thought, that many people are not physically ready. So when the challenges come, they break down. They lose control. They don't, because they are not well balanced within themselves, they cannot really support these kids. And when it comes to discipline, because they are not self-disciplined, when it comes to passing on the right message, doing the right thing, they can't, because they are not emotionally and psychologically ready to support that process. Someone that is used to be going out or smoking or drinking or exhibiting some bad traits, they are not prepared, they're not in that stage already to drop those things. So when children automatically come, they struggle. And the child are so clever these days, they can pick things up so quickly. That is one. The second challenge I think is facing now is the children themselves. Children used to be like, when I was growing up in Africa, same in this country, because I wasn't here, but I've read history. You can say to a child, sit down there, and they will. You can say where they go and, monitor their train of thoughts, but it's no longer like that. Every child is an individual. They has a bit different character, different identity. So if you have one, it's a challenge. You have another one, It's another challenge. The third one comes is a challenge because they all come with their own identity and they needs to be met. So most parents struggle in this regard because they feel because A has done it this way, that is how C would do it, or this is what D should do. We struggle when our children say to us, no, I am not going to church. We struggle when they say to us, I am not going to, I don't want to be a doctor or something like that. We can't really engage to communicate. And because we can't, the children will seek alternative solution into making themselves whoever they want to be. And if I would say to link to that is the societal pressure. Like I said earlier at the intro, it is no longer a situation whereby it is me and my family. There's a lot of interference filtering into the house, a lot of information going through. As a parent, one minute you think something is right, the next minute they are telling you it's not right. 5 years ago in this country, there are things that were considered wrong. Today, they will tell you that is exactly what you should do. You go into school, the legislation is there. You go into communities, there's so many things that are challenging us every day to say, no, you can't do that. This is what you should do. No, there's a lot of confusion going on, and that is confusing a lot of parents. It's confusing a lot of children as well.
Wow. Thank you very much. If you've just joined us, we're live on Niger Voices, the 29th of August, and I've got with me Kenny Climax, Challenges of Parents. I sent you an article on the 21st of August 2018. Teens, and I'm going to read that out for the benefit of those that didn't see that article. And the article goes like this. Teens start to shake off their parents at the age of 13. Parents start to lose control of their children once they're 13, a study has found. After their child goes to secondary school, which a lot of children are going back now to the secondary school, I will put a pause on that.
I just said to you, you know what, that's just a practical question for me. When you send me that, I could relate. And one thing I could tell you is I actually pass it on to my daughter to read because she's just in that age. She's going to be 13 soon, like I said. She got into secondary school last year. And within a space of 6-8 months, I could see some very massive, dramatic changes. Her confidence shoots. Because when they are in their primary education, they are like baby, they are protected, they are everything. But as soon as they step out into that secondary school area, they make bigger children. And naturally, it is of every child to want to be like somebody that you think is ahead of you. And so they begin to imitate them. They begin to see how they dress. They begin to see how they speak. And no, you as a parent still want to treat them as your baby. So where is it if there's no line of communication to say, okay, this is what we can do to actually manage one another? How do you balance that? And that is when children at younger stage begin to retrieve, because you can no longer communicate in their language. And that is why I have been saying that, come, it is not just about speaking or communicating now. It's knowing the right word to say, the right answer. And that will mean that you have to, as a parent, develop yourself as well. Because what you used to tell them, no, you are not having rice tonight, and they would dance to you, now means that they want a reason why they shouldn't have rice. Providing them okra and vegetable when they want spaghetti for, meal, will now mean that you have to actually go out of your comfort zone and being openly honest. Because they can now spot that you are lying. They can now spot that you have something you're covering up. They can now spot that, hang on, mom is not as rich as I look at her to be. They can now spot, oh, there's challenges between mom and dad. So being able to have like a comfortable but open, honest communication with them, it is what is going to help them to remain your friend. The moment that is not possible, they will look for friendship elsewhere. And this is the age that they are allowed to go on go on internet to do their homework. So under the pretense of homework, they are actually engaging with people. They are sourcing material on YouTube to broaden their horizon. Then it becomes like a combat within the home. And what happened? They drop the parent, and it's always a shock.
Wow. And let's finish that article. 4 in 10 parents found sweet or fast food wraps in school bags or bedrooms. About the same number do not know the company their child keeps. 1 in 10 believe they have to let go when their child hits 10. As children start to do things on their own, it can be harder to keep a close eye on them, said Vitabotics, which is behind the study. That is quite deep, because
It is deep.
growing up, I mean, I remember when I was going back, getting into secondary school, in as much as, you cannot do as much as what we are saying now in 2018, what has changed?
A lot. When we are growing, remember, it's a taboo. You are experiencing puberty. It's a taboo to talk about it. I remember in my biology class, when the teacher will come in and just say, we are studying biology, integrated science, we call it then. And you will see the boys and the girls feeling excited and everything. But this is an age that things like that are openly discussed. And people just kind of like assume that, you know what? This is it. These girls, especially girls, you are more likely to find sweet wraps, chocolates and everything because their hormones is craving for it. Yeah? There's peer pressure as well. They are working more than they used to. So for the boys, the demand for energy is topping up as well. So it's not like they're just walking and coming home. I mean, they could be walking to school with just a small bag initially. Now they have a bigger bag to walk with, the academic demand as well. And then the need for them to eat on the go. Because it's like they work just like 5 times what they used to be doing in primary school. So all these things comes to be a challenge, and most parents do not understand this. I remember when my daughter started secondary school, and I gave her a target of money to spend daily. You know what? I wish I could reach my phone now and read you the emotional message she sent me. She said to me, "Mom, I am very, very sorry, but if you could please increase that money by this X amount." And it is having to listen again to their concerns that counts.
It looks like there's been a breakdown between the parent of today and the children as well, because we are not. I mean, you've just said, how your daughter came back. Are we really communicating with our children, or are we just leaving everything to the outside world? And if not, there's quite a lot in terms of the communication, because it all starts from the communication. Yeah. And if we're not communicating, I remember last night, while Oscar Binko, who is going to be here tomorrow, was talking on Facebook about your vision. I asked my children to pause the TV just to listen to what he was saying at that moment of time. They could have said again, we're not interested in that. But for the father, I said, look, that TV, you can pause that online program and you could play it later on, because it's, the technology again is there. So you just put a pause on it and listen. Are we...
What you've just said now is the biggest issue. Across the community, when you speak to youths, people are not listening. Go on Facebook. So many people are talking. They are not listening. Go to churches, mosque. Everybody has got something to say, but very, very few are listening. It's a very painful thing that is robbing not just families, even us as a society. And when it comes to these children, they are frustrated. They are frustrated because every time mom and dad has got something to say, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Hang on. They are growing into an adult. They have their own mind. They are not robots. They got feelings too. They can be sad. They can be happy. They can have a sense of failure. So when we don't learn to listen to them and see how they feel, they can be maybe undergoing bullying in school. They may be struggling in a subject. They may have something with their body. I mean, I was listening to BBC this morning, a lot of children doing self-harming, and children resorting to self-harming, and a lot of mental illness going on because they could not connect. So it's a very big problem in many homes now because many people are no longer communicating. Technology has even done us a big blow. Dad is on the computer, mom is on the phone, child on the thing. But underneath every of this thing is something, is a ceiling of pains, agony, of something that people are, the child is thinking, oh, I wish. Dad is thinking, I wish. And it's something that is breaking the bond. It's scattering family. It's disintegrating the community entirely. So that is why I said to you, it is not just about the money or how to make wealth. Even when people are in the house, within this period of 2 hours, 3 hours, what do they use it for? I want to call Nigeria, I want to call America, I want to watch a movie on YouTube. And then they think they are in the house. So what time do you actually have to connect with that child when they are at the formative stage? Because you know what? And then when they're talking to them, another thing that just quickly came to mind is even when they are issuing these instructions and these children, because they have a very inquisitive mind, and they come to say, oh, why? They say, because I said so. And over time, that child will grow up. And when they begin to manifest some inappropriate behavior, the parents will also ask them, why are you doing that? Because I want to. I don't know. Because you do not engage. And many parents is still unable to engage just because they feel they know, but they don't know nothing.
Wow. Amazing. Well, if you've just joined us, again, the phone line as well is open. You could call in at 0208 133 2257. We're live on Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station. It's good to have you in the building, and also to get, that feeling of, some of the message that you're putting out there. One thing that comes to my mind all the time is family crime. We've had a lot of people saying, well, the mother knows that, my son or my daughter is into crime because crime pays, according to them, because, he's feeding the house one way or the other, either topping up the electricity, or we've seen cases where either they're buying a brand new car for their parents, and no one is asking questions. And then the whole thing is, who gains out of this? Is it the CPS? Is it the government that ends up putting them in the prison and somebody else is also making money? Or how do we stop, this whole issue? Family and crime, who gains?
Nobody. The society is losing. The family are losing. The children are losing. Everyone is losing. Because I tell you what, they said family is the bedrock of every society. Why, if we had to go by creation story, the only fundamental reason why families are created is for procreation. And procreation is to, enable us to multiply, replenish the earth, and do whatever you will. So if the family unit is faulty, if you mix a bad apple and a good apple, chances are you will get a bad apple. So, you mentioned about parents knowing their kids are into crime and not. Go back to what I said initially. Parents not being ready before they have a child. Many of them are from the dysfunctional homes themselves. So it's like a bad apple breeding a bad apple.
Wow.
So when we have to look at this, it's not just what is happening now. It is a product of what has happened, of what has been allowed to happen. And what we are just manifesting is just that we are having the bad apple contaminating the good ones. Because we all live in a society. We are just like, if I have to give you an illustration, we are like a bag of beans. If you put a tiny, they call it kokorewa, if you put that little insect in a very healthy bag of beans, over time, it will mess it up. There was a time we were told it's okay to be a single parent. There's a time that it's okay to be pregnant at a teenager. There's a time that all these things has come as a multiple kind of insects into the society. And what is happening now is we are seeing their products contaminating the good ones. Their parents don't know better. Because they themselves has no role models. They have nobody to tell them. Going back to what I said, having no one to tell you what's right, what's wrong, what should you do. Embedding their values in them. So they have no parent technically, if you have to put it.
We will go on a short break now, and when we come back, we will continue on the challenges of parenting in 2018, in the 21st century. And I still have in the house with me my guest, and we still have a few more questions that we will take through. But let's go on this short commercial break, and when we come back, we will take it further. Make sure you stay tuned and don't go nowhere, because again, it's Naija Voices coming live to you on Star Radio UK. Once again, it is as it is. The election is coming up in Nigeria. We will look into that as well. But tonight, it's all about parenting. And as the children are going back to school, we will talk on that. And also, the next event coming up for Kemi Climax, she will also be telling us a little bit from that event. And she also has to tell us what happened from the one last year. Because it would be unfair for me not to ask that question, knowing that only on Sunday I was asking that on my Facebook, that a lot of conferences that we've done, whether you've attended, what is the result, what has come out of it, and we will definitely be asking that. Let's take this and we will definitely come back. Once again, this is Naija Voices coming straight live to you on Star Radio UK.
káyé lè máa ròyìn nípa wa nígbà tá a bá lọ. ìtàn rere tí ààrẹ olóògbé Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister MFR ní ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olólùfẹ́ òṣèlè gbàgbé iṣẹ́ rere tí Agbájélọlá gbé ayé ṣe. gẹ́gẹ́ bí olùdásílẹ̀ fújì àti olùgbé àṣà wa lárugẹ káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé nípasẹ̀ fújì. ní ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tó kọ́ gbé fújì wọ̀lú ọba UK lọ́dún 1978. ó ti wá pọ́gbójì ọdún dákọ̀ báyìí t'Agbájélọlá gbé fújì wọ̀lú ọba. èyí ló mú kí gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó wà ní UK pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ gbogbo lẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ Bàrí káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé fẹ́ ṣe ayẹyẹ oníbejì tá a pè ní 70th posthumous birthday and 40 years anniversary of International Fuji 29 September 2018 ló máa wáyé ní Yorùbá Tennis Club Elephant Castle London lábẹ́ àwọn orí adé ọjọ́ náà Olúbàdàn tìlú Ìbàdàn ọba Sọ́líù Àkànmú Adétúnjì Ajé Ògúngúlùsọ̀ wọn àti ọba Olúwo of Ìwó land ọba Abdulrasheed Adéwálé lábẹ́ alága ọjọ́ náà Ambassador George Adésọlá Ògúntádé Nigeria Ambassador UK olùbánisọ̀rọ̀ ọjọ́ náà ní alàgbà Musa Alao Adédayọ̀ olùdásílẹ̀ ìwé ìròyìn Aláròyé àkàmọ́yé àwọn àǹtọ̀kùlú ènìyàn àtàwọn Bàrí associate ló máa wà níbẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ náà àwọn asọ́fúnlẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan tá à ń retí ní Sikiru Ayinde Barrister Fans Club the Ayinde Barrister Legacy Club Sikiru Ayinde Barrister Global Fans Charity Organization Bari Wonder Fans Club Barrister Entertainment Forum Fuma UK Chapter àti Sikiru Ayinde Barrister Music Lover lábẹ́ àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ayẹyẹ Dr. Chief Dàpọ̀ Williams ṣíṣe alága Adémọ́lá Adésìgbé akọ̀wé Howlat Olúwatómísì Sule Coordinator General ni wọ́n sọ pé 70th posthumous birthday Bàrí àgbà àti 40 years anniversary of international.
Wow. Once again, we're back. Still with me in the studio is Kemi Climax. It's beautiful, Wednesday, where we are still looking at the challenges of parenting today. Let's start with, with the event that is coming up very soon in the next, few months. Next month, just about,
Exactly a month away.
Exactly a month away now. You had one last year. Maybe we should start with that. Maybe give us a kind of a brief of what was the theme of that and what was the outcome? Why are we taking the next one coming up in under 8 months now?
Well, the theme of last year is we've just decided to stick to the theme, just basically because the feedback from last year's event was awesome. And not just awesome, we've seen evidences of people who attended the event and that were able to actually do something productive with their child and cascade it into their community to create a kind of an impact that we envisage. The theme was protecting our future, which was basically to enlighten parents and give them the skills to know. We've been talking about technology, we've been talking about internet, we've been saying a lot of things around, challenging facing parents, but to give them the actual skills that they need to nurture their children and to support the growth of their children in an healthy way. We're talking about crime. Knife crime is there, but it's not just about knife crime. Those are just the symptoms of the things that are happening. But being able to cut the problem from the roots, being able to protect one child from the home, and being able to make them safe so that they can grow up to make good economical and social choices that will help them to project into a greater height. Those are the things we are looking at. So when we say protecting our future, last year's event went very well. We have lots of testimony that came from it. And it's not just the testimony. I've have a feedback from the SS police as well to say, well done, we saw this because there was a follow-up article that we did with Romford Recorder, and they picked that up and they contacted to say this is something, and as a matter of fact I will be meeting with the Rainham Council this coming week to discuss further about how we can broaden up the initiative. So it's something that it is getting a very big momentum, because we are not just looking at just coming to discuss the problem. We all know the problem. We can't pretend to be naive. The statistics are there. The research is confirming what the problems are. But having a solution, having people who are well equipped, knowledge-wise, who have worked like all the people that would be at the conference this year, more or less have paramilitary background. Okay. We have the whole kind of people who has been there, done that. You understand? They've been in the police, they've been at the forefront of crime, they've done things, and we have one of them organization is called eSafety. They've been on BBC, they've been on Sky News, they've been everywhere around the country rehabilitating and letting parents know the dangers of the internet, how they can map the kids or their children footprints on the internet, how they can keep them safe. Remember I said you can be in the house with your parents and they're all apart. How can you keep them safe? Behind all the toys, all the games, all the things they're using, what are the dangers? How do these children get radicalized? How do they get sexually exploited? All these things, then how you can actually as a parent help prevent your child being a victim. These are the things we are aiming at. So that at least if me, you, another person can do that with our child, at least we are creating a safer community. And another section is the e-gangs. It's no news now. Children as young as 8 years old, they're selling drugs. They have a way of getting them into it, because it's not that these children will just walk into it blindly. So there's some kind of lead they use for them to get them into these crimes and everything, and how parents can spot these signs, what it is that they can do to help their children, even if they've been caught, to get out of this problem without necessarily going through maybe the police arrest or something like that. So we have lots on the menu. And another aspect is the family itself, which is quite very close to my heart. There's a lot of domestic violence going on. It's not just the physical beating or so many things. Husband and wife not speaking to each other. People just literally coming in and out. All these things are having an impact on our children. How can we help support our children so that our own ways of life do not impact on them mentally. You know, everything is all about having a child that can actually grow up to make a social economic choice and a very safe choice, living a safe life to help them become who we think they should be or who God has designed them to be.
Wow. Once again, if you've just joined us, still have in the building with me on Niger Voices, Kemi Climax. The children are going back to school. What should be, they've been with us for literally, 6 weeks. It looks like just under, 6 days.
It's going to go quickly.
By next week, a lot of them, I'm sure even by this week. What I want you to give is an advice to the parent out there, because what we're discussing is about the challenges, of parenting today. As the children will be going back, we will have the statistics. Some of them are going to be in that age bracket, 13 years old. What would be an advice from you between the parents and the children, especially those that are going straight into the secondary school for the first time? And I'm sure under a month, the parent could be,
well,
what is happening?
am I living with a stranger, kind of?
And because we have a lot of parents that listen to us, and we also have a lot of youths that also watch and listen to the platform. So it will be good to first take advice on that, and then we'll move to the next.
Yeah, what I think is the most important thing is, and that goes back to the last year event we had as well. Some of the feedback we have from our young people is our parents don't listen. So before they go back to school, it is not just about you ticking all the boxes of uniform is bought, school bag is done, shoe, getting the shoes. It's find a time, find a moment to listen to their concern. And that will mean not that you will just sit them down and say, okay, what is it now? No, it has to be like you have to create a space for them to actually speak to you genuinely, being open with them. And then, even though you are nervous as a parent, let them know you are nervous. Don't try to hide it. Let them know your concern, and then listen to their concern and find an equilibrium junction to work together and work as a team. But most importantly, especially for parents whose children will be going into the secondary school, prepare your mind to welcome new friends, because it is in knowing your children's friends that you can get to know your child. If you don't know your child's friends, you can't know him or her. And before you know it, by the age of 14, they are gone. So it is important that every day after school, you get to have a conversation with them. So what happened? What happened? What happened? And without judging them. Remember, they are growing as well. They can't remain a child forever. So don't judge them. Don't try to criminalize them even before they commit a crime. All you could do is let them understand the implication of certain things. Oh, I don't want you to move with that person. Give them a reason. Don't put on your ego and just say, this is what I want and that has to be done. Because if you do that, chances are you will lose that child.
Wow. Not planning to lose
any child. So fundamentally, try as much as possible to communicate with them as open as you could. And secondly, understand who they are moving with, who they are talking with, and learn their language.
Wow, learn their language. I'm not sure whether sometimes there's a language that my son, and I hope, it's okay to say this, fam. He keep using the word fam. And I think what it means is family. And it took me a while to get to understand, fam. And I sat him down and I said, what is the meaning of the word fam? Because it's like I'm thinking whether it's animal farm. But later I got to understand that it's just a kind of their own way of
the association with a friend, or
so,
someone they're really close with. Yes.
So hello fam, and it took me a while. So understanding those language, because if we're not understanding those language, it could be a big problem, between us and them. I know, our time is almost coming up, but before that, we will want you to, which we do a lot of the time when we have our in-house guests in here. This is an opportunity now for you to tell, our viewers, what more can be done, or what more, you are expecting, as an organization, as an individual, or how can they connect with you? So this is an opportunity for you to give out as much, take your time to all the listeners out there, because this is also a footprint that will be there, and people will always come back and just want to say there was something she said that I'm taking away. And I'll give an example. I remember, when I had the MBE, she said to me when I came here about 1956, somewhere around there, about 40 years ago, my husband said to me, make sure you pay the travel fare. And in 2018, you go down the underground and some people are still dodging to pay that fare. So what would be something that you want us to hold on to? And
Thank you very much. Parenting, as much as we say parenting, is not the foundation of all. The key foundation that I think every of my listeners should pay attention to, if they haven't been before, is the health of their family. Family is everything. Everything is the foundation. We are sitting here because we are a product of a family. And when I mean family, it is not just about having that blood relationship. No, it is about having that thick connection, having it like a web, a spider web that is interwoven. You can't take a string out without pulling the other. If a family is disjointed, there will be a lot of problems. And some of the symptoms is what we are saying, that we will be saying, because it takes a father and a mother to build. That is one. Secondly is, I thank God because 20, 30 years back in this country, you will see that the rate of divorce was so high, especially among the African Caribbean community. But these days, I think within our generation, in the last 5-10 years, people are beginning to realize the implication of single parenting or just walking out of marriage. I just want to encourage more people. If you are listening to me, marriage is key to helping a child succeed. Because this is not just you. When you're weak, the other person will be strong. And fathers especially, know that mothers cannot do much, but it is been established that for any child to actually succeed, there has to be like a father figure. It may not be the biological father, but there has to be a role model, especially for our boys. And with the current rate of crime sweeping our streets, with the boys stabbing each other every now and then, it is high time I'm challenging men out there to rise up and be a father to a son. Be a father to a boy out there. They don't have to be your biological child, but take a responsibility to mentor a boy or a girl in your neighborhood, so that we can not just be raising children, but we will raise children who will give us the peace of mind. But above all, for every parent, try as much as possible to acquire the skills. I always tell people, what you don't have, you can't give. If you don't have something, if I have you for £5, no matter how compassionate you are, if you don't have that £5, you can only dip your hand in the pocket, you can't get it out. So for every child now, the life is getting so dynamic for them. The challenges are there for them. They are looking for answers, and somebody is going to have to provide these answers for them. And that, unfortunately, or fortunately, has to be us parents. So I'm asking you as a parent, go out there, seek for information, the right sort of information, because there's so many people out there giving information based on what they think should be right. But you have to ask yourself, are these right? Acquire the skills. That is one of the reasons why we put up this kind of a conference, to give parents the real skills they need. It is not just, it is completely free to attend. It's coming up on the 29th of September at the Semi Center in Raynham. And I encourage you, if you haven't registered, if you go on Eventbrite, if you type in Climax Parent Conference, you will find it there. It is very, very free of charge to attend, but you have to register so that we will know and the amount of people that are attending and be able to cater for everyone accordingly. But it is important. Go on Google, go on YouTube, go, do your own research. Try to learn as much as you could to support your child. What you know is no longer sufficient. What I know may not be sufficient for my children because they are growing. And we are all praying that our children should grow up to do better than we do. And if they have to, which means we have works on our hand. Most importantly, know this. It is not enough to bear a child. Your old age, you want a child that will be able to support you in a way that you yourself can say, hang on, it's a life well spent. Thank you very much.
Wow, that is a very powerful one there, and I'm sure all our listeners will be able to take something out of that powerful message out there. Also, this is an opportunity for you to send your greetings to your friends, your family, and especially Mr. The man that have allowed you to let us have you, for this very special interview. This is an opportunity to send a message to all your fans out there.
Oh, my husband. I call him my coconut man, It's always been there, It's not easy. I always say to people, you can't be, it doesn't matter how intellectual you are, how vibrant, how bold, or whatever you are. If you don't have the right support as a husband, you can't prosper. It's either you break the marriage or you break your career. But it's been a pleasant man, and I just want to say thank you so much for your support over the years and for your love for our kids. You are awesome. And I don't have to say it, but I love you. Saying that, moving on from that, my sitting here has been a journey, and there are people who have contributed to it, and to that I say thank you to everyone who has been a support. And I want to give a shout out to Dawood Awolesi, who has been a very, very great support, especially concerning these events coming up on the 29th of September. He's been behind all the flyer, everything doing and everything. And by the way, you can check me out on our website, www.climax.org.uk, and on Facebook, Kemi Climax as well. On Instagram is the same, on Twitter is the same. You can follow me. For all my followers, all my readers, I just want to say thank you so much. Like I always say, there can't be Kemi without you. I can only be Kemi, but the climax to be on top of it, it's got to be the teamwork. And thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Olayomi Koiki. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time with you. From the reception up to this time, the follow-up, your hard work, your passion is second to none. And I do genuinely admire you. Rising up in the morning, doing what you have to do. Sometimes on the tube, sometimes on the buses, sometimes on the streets. I don't know how you do it, but the Lord will reward you. Wow. Well done. You are a blessing to this community, and we appreciate you deeply.
Wow. Thank you very much. Once again, this is, where we will let, I call her my big auntie, so that, she could get back home. But make sure you stay tuned, because the show hasn't ended. That is just a part 1. We're going to go straight into the part 2, but when we come back, we will definitely be looking at some of the event coming up. We've just had the event coming up on the 29th of September. There's also your one and only Ankara Meet Adire Festival coming up this Sunday. How was the carnival at your side? Let's talk about that as well. While we let my beautiful auntie take off our bow now, we will definitely come back and we will continue on this particular topic. And we will also continue on what is happening with the visit of Theresa May to Federal Republic of Nigeria. Come back in just about.
Me, you like the way you bend it up. Me, I don't go faster. Anytime I call her, so she wants some sound. Oh, my baby, what's up? Yeah. Oh, my baby, what's up? Yeah. She like the way me, I don't go faster. Anytime I call her, so she wants some sound. Oh, my baby,
body. Come a little closer, mommy. I wanna touch your body. Come a little closer, mommy. I wanna touch your body. You standing. This is how we get down.
You're in the mix.
Right now, you checking out
DJ Perez 254. It's your favorite DJ, DJ Perez 254.
Remember the name, DJ Perez.
Come a little closer, mommy. I wanna touch your body. You standing way too far from me. How will I touch your body? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it?
Man, sharp it when me say cute, say you better than bad. Beauty, go punda oh lad. Where you get that from? That wine they too bad. We go, Jason Snoop Dogg. Your friends are carry too, you carry too. Wine slow like a million go. Up and down, out there she a do. Move closer, me want to touch a little. Your body hot, make me want to say it. See me na for say it. Closer, like a liquidator. I am on just see my day go. Oh,
come a little closer, mommy. I wanna touch your body. You standing way too.
You know, we're still back live, Star Radio UK. Wow, the challenges of parents of today. You know, what a very interesting one. If you missed the first edition, you might have to wait till the end of the show, and then you could back as well. It's also going to go on the podcast as soon as the show ends tonight, so you'll be able to follow up as well on it. But the question is, and there was quite a lot of things that was discussed during that interview. But one thing I want us to always remember is everyone has a role to play. I have a role to play. You have a role to play. Let us all come together so that we can continue, to support. We can continue to also do as much as we are doing at the moment, but we can add more to it, because we can't leave it. Like I always say, we can't leave it, for the next generation, to take care of things. We have to take care of it now, whatever the outcome of it. We have few calls that we're going to take. We're going to be calling in just about a few minutes. But one thing is, what is your take as the Prime Minister Theresa May making a round trip, from South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya? What is your take on it? Quite a lot of things that they're signing so much. What do you expect, from this visit of Theresa May? But before we do that, we will definitely, speak to. There's a event coming up, Obatala Day. We've lost our culture. And one thing about it is, a lot of people, when they hear the word like Obatala Day, people ask why. What is it all about? Let us speak to one of the elderly within the community to tell us a little bit more about this, what it's all about. We'll come back in just a stay tuned. Once again, our voices coming live to you on Star Radio UK.
How will I touch your body? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So why don't you just get it, get it, get it? So really, I get money like but you get it. I'm making more to pay, but you get it. I'm waiting so this, but you get it. Shakara, Mutungede, I get money like Mutungede, Mammy pay more to pay, Mutungede, Obejele, so he said, Mutungede, Mammy Juno Shakara, Montele, I want this kind of love, you don't do me like bam, 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 oh, baby girl, I tell you this kind of love, you don't do me like da, 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 baby, get money.
Follow on Instagram at DJEEREZ254.
I don't know why your love had start treating you, give me girl, me not out. Unto you, me time, yes, me gonna devote. L-O-V-E, me love you, girl, full. Anything you want, yeah, you can order. Me love you, me no need another. So tell the girl, I'm not to bother. Across your shout, across the border. You want more than $1 billion.
Hello. I hope you can still hear me very well. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Good evening and welcome for joining us on this special edition of Niger Voices. And firstly, apart from saying good evening, Matusokwe, Ekalema, and welcome.
Hello, good evening, my dear.
Wow, there's something.
How are you?
I'm very well. And thank you very much for taking out of your very, very busy schedule to speak to us about Obatala Day. Firstly, if you want to introduce yourself to all our listeners that are listening to you from every part of the world, and most especially right here in London.
Obatala Day is a special day in London because nobody appreciates our culture and tradition. Now, this is the first day of Obatala Day in London to prove for all our people and the black community that where we come from, the beginning of our life over there, started from Mauritius. Obatala is a very, very important Mauritius. It's a father of all Orisha. Ogun, the Lord of Iron, is the last son of Obatala. People, they are going to church, they are going to mosque, they haven't got a temple for Orisha in London because they are not appreciate what Eledumare gave to us in Africa. Because our Orisha come first before anything, before the European bring Bible to us in over there. We have been using our tradition, culture to develop our life. In the beginning of my great-grandfathers, before they are born, Obatala is a very, very symbolic Orisha. He is a religion as well. People doesn't understand. When we wake up in the morning, we call our Orisha. We grew up with our Orisha before Europeans come to us, before they bring Bible to us. But at least we are here in London today. I've been here during the 60s. And now today, we are here. We are calling our Orisha, and it's answer us. Obatala Day is going to be an important day for all black community, for them to think well, to remember where they come from. We are from Orisha. We are not Bible people. But we are not calling our Orisha, it's answering us. In the dark, in the day, in the night. When we call our Orisha, it's response. And it's ending our prayer.
Wow.
Just to let them know that Obatala Day on the 10th of November is going to be a big day for all black community in London. All black community in London, Jamaica, Caribbean, everywhere, we are all Orisha people. You can be bearing Orisha, or you can be Orisha person. If you travel from home down to overseas, maybe if you don't worship it, you don't do it properly, it can be affecting our people. Some people, they can marry 4 times, the wife won't stay. Some people, they be married 4 times. That is not right at all. When you marry, you marry. I'm here now, I'm on the Radio Galaxy, every Saturday, speaking about culture and tradition. I'm doing culture marriage, culture naming ceremony. For anybody want to remember where they come from, we have to remember where we come from and behave like one. We don't have to throw our culture away. Japanese won't come to this country and throw the culture away. Also to Indian people, they won't come to this place and forget their country. What is worrying our people? Let us try to be letting our children understand our language. It's very, very important. And I'm here now. I'm doing Orisha here for long years. Everybody know me. Obatala, Ogun, Shogo, Shokono. Remember the children of who you are. Some people, they are bearing Ifasheyi. They turn Ifasheyi to Oluwasheyi. Olorusheyi. All this nonsense has to be stopped. And it's affecting our people. Some will be coming yet, they'll be looking for job, they won't see job. Because they forget their past tense. They didn't do it for them before they travel. Some people will be looking for children, they won't get it. Because they forget the Orisha that is in their own country. Orisha is doing good for us. It doesn't do bad to us. It's a religion. Church members that go to church every week. Muslim every Friday. I myself have been to Hajj 3 times, Saudi Arabia, to find out about the religion. I've been to Israel 3 times to find the religion. And my name is H.R.H. Dr. Are Iyagbogbo Abosede. The year president of Obatala worldwide. Oba Ibirin Ibile Oodua worldwide. The culture, the queen of culture and tradition worldwide. Erelu Afikejile, Osun State. Erelu Agbamola, Owu Kingdom, Ogun State. I've got a lot of title, and my family title, Shaduko of Iboku. I'm speaking my mind to every of my people today to understand where we come from. We shouldn't forget what we are doing in our generation. We can't quench it. If I die tomorrow, somebody else is going to continue. And that's why I'm doing on Batala Day on the 10th of November. For everybody is coming to see what we are. We want to throw it away. We won't throw it away in the name of Eledumare. Because it's what we know. It's what we're born in. And that's what I'm doing.
Could it be, and thank you very much for, giving us, I know this was on a very, very short notice as well, but I really appreciate you coming live on Star Radio UK and Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Culture was part of what we discussed today, and the topic that we had with my guest today in the studio was the challenges of parenting today. And culture was also mentioned. Why are we disconnecting away from our own?
I don't know what's wrong with our people. It's adopted religion they are following. They shouldn't forget where they come from in Africa. We don't have to be follow adopted culture. Mr. Jones, Mr. Williams, Mr. Kemi, it's adopted name. Your parents when they born you, they will give you your real name. If you don't know your real name, ask. If you are born here, try to understand cultural tradition of Africa. Some of our children, they lost culture. They don't even know what they call culture. No respect.
Before we let you go, we will definitely find another very good opportunity to bring you into the studio, because these are apart from you being, one of our elderly here, reminding us, especially a lot of the new generation, that either the second, the third generation, that is actually engaging away from that culture. We will definitely have more time to bring you to the studio. But before I let you go, Ma, can you, maybe for the next 3 minutes, just speak a little bit of the dialect, the Yoruba, because that is the real root of what we're discussing now.
Wọ́n tún sọ ní èdè Yorùbá fún àwọn èèyàn tí ò gbọ́ òyìnbó àti àwọn tó pé mò ń sọ ìbò yẹ kí n máa sọ lánàá gbàdàgbọ́dẹ tí ń fi bẹ̀rẹ̀. Èmi ní HRH Dr. Are Iyagbogbo Aboriji Òṣùgbó worldwide Aboriji. Èmi náà tún ní ọbabìnrin ìbílẹ̀ Oòduà worldwide. Èmi náà tún ní èyí àpèsè Ọbàtálá worldwide. Èmi náà ní ìdílé bàbá mi, èmi ni mo jẹ́ Ṣàdúkú of Ìbòkun. It's not, you don't take the money to buy that title. Èmi náà mo jẹ gba oyè oríṣiríṣi ní gbàgbọ́ra. everywhere of the country. I got a lot of title. Oyè oríṣiríṣiríṣi ni mo ní. Ṣùgbọ́n ní òní yìí, mo wá bá àwọn èèyàn mi aláwọ̀ dúdú sọ̀rọ̀. Ìlú adọ́láwọ̀ ká ṣe wá, ká má gbàgbé ìṣẹ̀ṣe tá à ń ṣe, ká má gbàgbé religion wa, ká má sọ ìṣẹ̀ṣe, ká má sọ àṣà ìlú wa nù. Torí pé kí ni ó ṣòro sọnù. Indian ò ní dé ìlú yìí, kó gbàgbé èdè ìlú ẹ̀, kó gbàgbé culture ẹ̀. Japanese ò ní débí, kó gbàgbé èdè ìlú ẹ̀, kó gbàgbé culture ẹ̀. Àwa náà nìkan náà ni à ń dé wípé máa fi ìbò sọmọ wa òde fànàgó àfòyìnbó gbogbo ìwà wọn yóò dá ìwà wọn yóò dá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí bí tá ti ń bọ̀ ká dẹ̀ rántí ọmọ tá à ń ṣe. Ẹlòmíì Ifá wà ń dilé ẹ̀, ẹlòmíì Ògún wà ń dilé ẹ̀, ẹlòmíì Ṣàngó wà ń dilé ẹ̀, ẹlòmíì Ọya, Orò, Ọ̀ṣọ́yìn, Agẹmọ, Egúngún. Òrìṣà lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ni òun la fi ń tún ayé wa ṣe, òun náà fi bí wa. Káwọn ìbò tó wá bá wa pé èdè wa ò dá ká máa ka báíbùlù, èdè wa dá òrìṣà wa dẹ̀ dá, òun náà fi bí wa. Nígbà ayé láéláé àti wọn kì í wa ní fóbìnrin kó tó lọ bímọ, ó máa bímọ wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ ni. Tọ́mọ ti já ewé tó ń já egbò tó ń gbé fún pé mú báyìí, ó máa bímọ wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́ ni. Òde èsì ẹ̀ ni ó máa gbẹ̀bẹ̀ làwọn nínú ni. Gbogbo nǹkan kékeré wọn máa gbé wọn ọ̀bẹ làwọn nínú ni. Àmọ́ ká rántí bá ti ń bọ̀ o, ewé àti egbò náà fi bí wa. Ìjíṣẹ́ náà ni mo dẹ̀ wà dé níyì. Àwọn tó ní ẹgbẹ́ ayé wọn gbàdúrà wa. Nítorí pé kí ni èèyàn ń dèlú òyìnbó, wọ́n tó títí kò tò. Wọ́n wáṣẹ́ títí wọn ò ríṣẹ́. Wọ́n wáyà títí tí àmúbọ́ná mú. Wọn ò ní lọ síwájú. Kí ló ń fa gbogbo eléyìí? Nítorí pé àgbàgbé àṣà wa ló fà á. Ẹ̀wọ̀n mi ń jẹun lójú oorun kẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ẹlòmíín gbóbìnrin sùn lójú oorun. Oríṣiríṣi ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lójú oorun. Gbogbo àṣà àwọn yóò dá. Gbogbo àrùn tí dókítà ò lè wò ìwọ̀n yẹn. Àbí ká máa tọ̀ ọ́ lé. Àbí kẹ́sẹ̀ máa wú. Nǹkan tí ń tọ́ ṣúgà. Gbogbo wọn wọ̀nyí jẹ́ ká já igbó ká já egbò. Wọ́n jẹ egbòǹgbò kọ́ jẹ ewé. Olúwa ló dá ewé àti egbò gbòǹgbò fún àǹfààní ọmọ ènìyàn. Ọbàtálá day is on the 10th of November. Tí gbogbo èèyàn ó máa ṣèkì ìlú yìí ni because kò ṣẹlẹ̀ nílùú òyìnbó. Kò yẹ ká mọ ọmọ níta ń ṣe. Kò yẹ ká sọ àṣà wa nù. Mo ní mo ṣe ń sọ lórí rédíò. Èmi ní HRH Dr. Ààrẹ ìyàwó gba àbọ̀díjì ògbóni Òṣogbo worldwide. Bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀mí náà tó ní Yèyé Àpèsè of Ọbàtálá worldwide. Ọbabìnrin ìbílẹ̀ Oòduà worldwide. Erelú Agbọ́mọ́là of Ogun State Abẹ́òkúta. Erelú Kejì Ilé Iléṣà Ọ̀ṣun State. Yéèdọ̀fí of Òkèbodè Ọ̀ṣun State. Oyè lọ rẹpẹtẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbàgbé mọ́ fi gba ẹgbàgbòrá èmi náà ni mo jókòó yìí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ká gbàgbé àṣà ìlú wa. Tó ti nǹkan pẹ́ tó ń yẹ jẹ́ ká máa rántí àṣà ìlú wa. Àti ìṣàjẹbọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ pé ajẹbọ ni wá. Òrìṣà tá à ń sin ìlú wa tó ń lè wá nìyẹn.
What an amazing Amarin Bama.
Àṣẹ o.
Àdẹ̀dúpẹ́ fún àǹfààní tẹ fún wa náà lórí Naija Voices. Màá make sure pé mi náà kàn sí yín láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Thank you very much.
Ògùrù gbogbo tẹ bá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀dá tẹ bá ń kọjú tẹ bá ń béèrè ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ìbéèrè yìí tẹ bá ń béèrè ń tọ́ ọmọ aráyé létí. Àdúrà yẹn máa gbà. Ẹ máa ní lọ síwájú ń biṣẹ́. Ẹ ní padà sẹ́yìn. Àwọn tó ní ilé ayé àtọ́jú ọmọ àtọ́jú ayé àtọ́jú gbogbo ilé àtọ̀nà ẹ fún ẹ. Ìwọ náà kéré oko lọ́lé. Wà á kẹ́rù wà á kọ̀rọ̀. Lágbára àwọn tó ní ilé ayé onífa ìsọ̀lùgbà. Òní mọ bójú ọmọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ní mọ bójú aya. Ìyàwó kankan ní mọ bójú ọkọ wọn. Àìsàn fúnra wa ni o. Èmi tí mo ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, mo ti kọjá 78 mo ń gbé lọ yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, à ń jẹwé, à ń jẹgbò. Àfi àgbo wa ṣeré. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ bá tún fájò, gbogbo ẹ̀ là ń ṣe pọ̀. Ẹni tí ẹ bá ti bàjẹ́ ẹni tó ní ọmọ tí ò dá ṣe. Ẹni táyé bá fọwọ́ sí lára máa wọ́n tún ṣe. Àṣetìkì ń bọ́jà kí tò ní bá gbogbo wa o. Àìrídìí oko, àìrídìí ọ̀sán, àìrídìí ọmọ onígèdègèdè ọmọ aráyọ̀ ní rídìí wa o. Àjọṣe pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ o. Ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká rántí ilé o. gbogbo ọmọ nàìjíríà gbogbo yín ẹ pawọ́pọ̀ tẹ́ bá mi ṣe Ọbàtálá dé èyí ní on the November ẹ dáwó jọ gbogbo wa tọ́lọ́ ti kó gbadọ́ lọ́n kẹ́ ọlọ́run ṣe wá lóṣì ẹ jọ kẹrọ mi lọ́kọ́ má ṣe mi nìkan díẹ̀ kò ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ìlú òyìnbó àkọ́kọ́ wọ́tá wá kọ́ ṣeré àdè máa ṣe lọ́dọọdún títí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni lágbára Èdùmàrè ẹ jọ ẹ donate fún wa o ẹ ṣe sponsor fún wa o kẹrọ wa lọ́wọ́ kó má ṣe mi nìkan o mo kò fẹ́ ṣe léyìí fún àǹfààní gbogbo wa ni o kì í ṣe fún àǹfààní tèmi nìkan o ẹ jáde kẹrọ mi lọ́wọ́ o àṣírí ẹ̀yìn ààbò o ìrájẹ jẹun o ẹ kórè kò délé o gbólógún kì í léwe ìwọn àkàlàmàgbò kì í kú mọ̀tẹ̀sí tẹ̀ ń ṣe tábìlì fún mi lẹ́nu ẹni kú léwe o ẹ gbọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀fọ́ pàbọ̀ ẹ̀fọ́ ìdíje so ìṣàbí gbọ́ olóhùn gbọ́ aláṣẹ ọ̀run bàbá yìí o.
Wow, well, that is the way it is live here on Naija Voices. We tell you, we go places, we bring it to you as it's happening. Ọbàtálá Day, one thing is we've neglected our culture. Whenever we discuss about our culture, there's just something that, people would say, you know what, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to hear about Shango or Ya or, all these things. And everything has, their own, implication as well. One thing is, we will be, going very soon. But what is your take on Theresa May in Nigeria? You can call the studio line on 0208 133 2257 and let's have a conversation. But firstly, let's take a little bit.
Want to look glamorous for that special occasion? Call Abiono Touch of Paradise Creation on +234 909 3802355. You can also reach us on our email abionus.topcreation@gmail.com. We specialize in all kinds of makeup and makeover. You can also reach us on our social media platform at ABIONUSTOPC on Twitter, ABIONUSCREATIONS on Instagram. Thank you.
That is Abiono's creation, make and makeover. If you're looking to have the best of, whatever weddings, whatever you're thinking of doing, remember to get in touch with Abiono's creation. Once again, this is still Naija Voices coming straight live to you on Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station. Tomorrow we're going to have Oscar Binko. And also, we now have David West, every Monday. For those of you that love the reggae, make sure you stay tuned from 10 p.m. all the way through the hours of the night. Make sure you stay tuned, to enjoy that. But one thing is, as the weekend is getting closer, we've had a very beautiful bank holiday. The children will be going back to school next week. But there's still one thing coming up. And one thing coming up is the Ankara Meet Adire Festival. It's all happening this Sunday at Cargo Club at Shoreditch. You don't want to be nowhere until you attend this event. The details, it's already on the Facebook. The Eventbrite for the ticket. Make sure you get your ticket as quickly as possible because the room is getting filled up. A lot of exhibition. It's all about the Ankara. It's all about the Adire. We must continue to appreciate what we have because if we don't appreciate what we have, the next person is going to take it off us. And that is why a lot of you have been to Arad or you saw that video of that Ankara being sold for a very, very high price. What will you do on Sunday? Make sure you attend the Ankara Festival coming up this Sunday. All the Eventbrite for your ticket, for your VIP ticket, as the ticket itself is going very, very quickly. Once again, we would like to say a big thank you to Kemi Climax for, coming up to tell us the challenges of the parent of today. And I'm sure a lot of us will be asking ourselves, what can I take out of that, interview that we had with her live here inside the studio. But let us also remember that as the election in Nigeria is getting closer and closer, a lot of people are also asking so many questions. And one thing is, how prepared are you? So many. I was reading, Chief Bimbo Folayo, the former Kanuk chairman, that a lot of diaspora, should also look into, contesting, because we now have a huge opportunity. There's no more room for excuses out there. So you can't say, well, there's only the two major political parties. We now have 91, so there should be somewhere for you to fit in right now, and that is, what people are saying. Make sure you tune in to at least be part of the political party. A lot of us have been, complaining. We've been moaning of not being heard. Maybe this is the time also for you to think of joining a political party, because if you join a political party, then at least you could make that changes that you want as well. It's not just about sitting there and thinking that a miracle is going to come to solve some of the problems out there. You also have a big task to make sure that as the election is getting closer, almost 169 days away to that day when Nigeria will be going out to vote. Well, people have been complaining of INEC, in terms of the registration for PVC. And I was able to, not myself, but we have one of our staff that was reporting back from Mushi area today, and he was also almost, harassed in a way, because he wanted to do a live coverage of what was happening, and what was happening was people were not given that opportunity to collect, to register for the PVC. There was a kind of money exchange. We've had this a lot, and we decided to send someone to Mushin area today to find out if this was true. People were paying up to 2,000 naira or 1,000 naira to register for something that should be free. He wasn't allowed to get the live coverage out there, but he saw what was happening. And the question is, as the election is getting closer, INEC, moved the closing date from, I think, the 17th to the 31st, which is just about 2 days away. How many people have been able to register, for their PVC? And also, how many people have not collected their PVC? Because the statistics out there is still showing that majority of people are not going to collect their PVC. So it's kind of, something that we're going to look into. But one thing is, Star Radio UK will continue to monitor what is happening on ground. We will continue to feedback as well, what is happening, as a lot of convention will be coming up very soon in October. October, it's going to be a very, very busy month as the election is getting closer and closer. We will also have, the team will be on ground in Nigeria, giving us as much of, what is taking place and what we should also be doing. But what will you say to the former Kanuk chairman, Chief Bimbo Folayo, on a post he had on Facebook today, saying he's been contacted by almost 3 different political parties requesting or asking the diaspora to come and be on board? What do you think? We still have about 20 minutes to the end of the show. If you want to call the studio line, it's 0208 133 2257. What is your take as the election in Nigeria is getting closer? What do you think we can do more? If you look at the whole debate of this election, what is your take? What are you expecting, as the election is getting closer? One thing is for us to sit down, especially, the social media people, where you sit down and you're expecting miracle to happen. you have to be on ground. You know, I was at the carnival on Monday, and I was at you know, the Niger corner, you know, and I was giving out, you know, this flyer of this Ankara Meet at the Rare Festival that is coming up. Okay, let's read a comment that is coming. Yomi, I have an EU passport. Did not leave my house to have. I didn't get that. I vote both in Ireland and UK. Well, we've got to understand that, you know, Nigeria is not there yet when it comes to you know, be able to vote. Yes, we should be able to be there, but you know, it looks like they're just making it very difficult. I don't know. Maybe you know, you might want to call into the studio or leave a comment and we'll be able to read that out. A lot of people are asking if it is very easy, very, very easy for you to get a bank card right inside the bank. I was able to get my bank card, you know, when I traveled to Nigeria last year without no sweat. Right there, I was issued a card that could do a lot of transaction. How come we've not been able to get to that stage where the PVC is becoming like, you know, a big issue? You know, we should be able to get the PVC without sweating. A lot of people, you know, have found it very difficult collecting or trying to register for a PVC. I saw a video online. I'm sure a lot of people saw that video where this, you know, lady, you know, pretended that she was pregnant just to enable her, you know, to be registered. So that means a lot of people are losing out. I've also getting a lot of reports in my inbox. Different states have not even been able to register at all. A state like Kwara State, people have found it very difficult to register. A lot of the students are struggling as well. You know, a lot of, thank you very much, all the way from Spain, or Gala, thank you for joining. A lot of people are saying, if it has been this difficult to get PVC, we hope things will work coming up to 2019, because this PVC matter has been something that a lot of people are asking questions. Also, the news today, Prime Minister Theresa May in Nigeria, what is your take? What are they signing? You know, what is it for, you know, the diaspora? What is it for the Nigerians back home? What is the, you know, this cordial relationship between, you know, UK and also, you know, Nigeria? What should the president, you know, President Muhammad Buhari should be asking Theresa May right now? Is it the security? You know, a lot of people are saying so many things. What is your own take on this? Let us hear it. You can still call into the studio on 0208 133 2257. I'll repeat that slowly. 0208 133 2257. You could call in and let us hear your view on the, you know, Theresa May trip to Nigeria, South Africa, and also Kenya. He traveled with about 29 different business moguls. What is the deal, you know? What is in it? I'm also being told the Vice Chancellor of Germany will be in Nigeria as well on Friday. You know, not too long ago, about almost a month or so, we saw France Macron in Nigeria. What are they all looking for? Is it the good, the bad, or the ugly? You know, maybe you might want to tell me something I don't know. Let's share that on the studio. Once again, Star Radio UK and Niger Voices comes every Wednesday. If you want to, you know, sponsor the program, you have a business, or you want to put an advert, you know, we're taking an advert now on this studio. Make sure you reach out to us, and we will make sure all the Africans living both in United Kingdom and outside are able to know more about what you do. You've got to remember, if you don't put out your product or services out there, people won't know what you do. What is also in the news? The Senate President, you know, Olubukola Saraki, is moving around. I saw on the news just before I was coming into the studio. He has also visited the former president good luck, Ebele Jonathan. Saraki, the Senate president, was in Minna to visit the former president Ibrahim Badamosiba Bangida. He has been to Ojude-Oba. He has been to so many places. Why is he moving around? What is behind it? We don't know yet. Maybe you know something that we don't know, and you might want to share it with us. Call out the studio on 0208 133 2257. Now, for the next 10 minutes, it's all about Naija politics. When you start, you never finish. But I can tell you at exactly 9 o'clock, we will bring Naija politics to an end right here. Because when you click your mouth on Naija politics, it's always on and on and on. Never ending, never ending. One thing is, a lot of people are saying, where we are today, whose fault is it? Maybe you don't know. Maybe, yes, thank you very much for joining. Pizza X King, thank you for joining as well. And everyone that have tuned in and have logged in, continue to click the share button, invite your friends and family to be part of it as well. Nigeria Airways, a lot of you might not understand. It's almost 60 years ago that Nigeria Airways, what a very, very, catastrophe it is that our own precious airline just vanished into the air. Just vanished like an airline that they're looking for out there. Nigeria Airways, what happened? Why has it gone down the drain? And this new one coming up, Nigeria Air, I've been told it should be in operation in December. The federal government have 5% of it. One thing is, we'll be back again, same time next week on Naija Voices, yours, one and only, Olayomi Koiki. It's been a very beautiful evening, and we hope everyone will tune in to us next week when we'll be back with another edition of Naija Voices. It's been an amazing evening, and we can't do this alone without you that are watching us behind as well. And for those of you that will also be tuning in tomorrow and also the next week show that will be coming up very soon. All the details of this program also goes on the podcast. We're also on the apps. If you want to listen on your apps on the go, go to Star Radio UK and go onto your app store or your Android phone Play Store, and you could download as well. One thing is, we will continue to bring it to you wherever it's happening, and as much as it's happening, if it's a breaking news, be rest assured that we will bring it live to you right here. Thank you very much, and same time next week, we will be back with Naija Voices. Thank you very, very much, and have a beautiful evening wherever you are, or if you're just waking up somewhere in Australia, or you're just about to have your lunch, or you're about to have your dinner, or you're going to bed, remember, the world will be a better place if you play your own role. Thank you very much, and it is Naija Voices. Till next week.
Straight down to Addis Ababa. This kind of lovers taking us further. Nobody tells them. This kind love. What? This kind love. It's an African one. Baby girl, I tell you this kind love. Yeah, me I like it. Something so. This my African hands that gon' love you. That gon' run to you. Not a mercy. Not a mercy. Damn it.
From the first time that I set my eyes on you, baby, I was stuck on you. I'm a mere cut for you, make my body call for you, all for you. Went back inside my dream to search for you, looking like a dream come true, cause you make my dream come true. Baby, I will stand by you, with you, cause you are my woman, womanly. Cause you are so woman, woman sweet. Come here, Mr. Roman, romantic. Come and make you feel good, oh, romantic. Cause you are my woman, womanly. Cause you are so woman, woman sweet. Come here, Mr. Roman, romantic. Come and make you feel good, oh, romantic. Show you what I show them, let's show them, show them. Make we let London know. Then my baby so romantic. Oh yeah, baby, make we show them, let's show them, you show them. Then my baby so romantic, yo. Ooh, she romantic, yo, romantic, yo. So romantic, yo. She feeling like romantic, yo. So my baby so romantic, she's so she romantic, yo, romantic, yo. So romantic, yo. She feeling like romantic, yo. So my baby so romantic, yo.
Yeah, feelings that I have for you, baby boy, you know it's true. Never mind them, cause they just wanna jealous you. They just wanna be boo, be boo. Cause when you put me plus you, it's gonna be unstoppable. Baby, come on over, got a kiss for you. Waiting on you, waiting on you. You know I know what is good for you. I can make your dreams come true. Be a woman, womanly. I can be a woman, woman sweet. Call you Mr. Roman, romantic. Say you make me feel good, Mr. Romantic. I can be a woman, womanly. I can be a woman, woman sweet. Call you Mr. Roman, romantic. Say you make me feel good, Mr. Romantic. I show you what.
Baby girl, don't you love me? Baby, I wanna love someone. Baby girl, don't you need me? Baby, I really need someone. I need some puppy. Go carry my baby girl. I need some puppy. Go carry my baby girl. You my queen, my everything. My heart, my melody. Me and you, we made to be. Oh, we made to be. You my queen, my everything. Everything. Me looking at your eyes, I feel low.